Hello everybody, Pugnation here, and what is this thing? Well, my friends, this is the semi-automatic mining system with automatic sorting system using the Pugnation item transportation system, or Sam's ass pits. Well, anyways, here's what it does. Say I'm down here in the mines and my inventory fills up and I want to have my items sent back so I can continue mining. All I'm going to do is I'm going to load my ore into this cart. In this case, we'll just call it red, blue, green ore, and give it a little bit of a push. It will be boosted back here where it is automatically unloaded and sent vertically up to this little contraption here. This is an automatic sorter system, so it's going to take my red, my green, and my blue ore, and it's going to separate them into 3 different piles. When this cart is completely finished unloading, it will be automatically pushed back down and sent back to my mine shaft to be reloaded. The items, once they are sorted, are vertically transported from the sorting unit up to here and spit out the top. These minecarts with hoppers come by and they will pick up the sorted ores to be transported to a warehouse located wherever I want. Now, I could have these transported any distance away, and you could see each of these chests only has blue, green, or, well, when it finishes unloading, we'll have red ore in it. And as you can see, everything is being sorted correctly by color and picked up automatically by these minecarts and unloaded at a destination off-site. And as you can just see there, as soon as that cart is finished unloading, it is automatically pushed off and sent back to where I was. You can see here the sorted items being unloaded at the warehouse and automatically sent back to the destination over here to pick up additional sorted items. And it looks like we are done. We should have a stack of blue, green, and red wool in each of these chests. If we don't, I'm going to be very embarrassed. Alright, we're good on the blue. Good on the green. And yes! Alright, it worked. Of course it worked. Now, how did I do that? Now, this contraption looks very complicated, but it's actually quite simple once it's been broken down into its constituent pieces. You have vertical item transportation, which is what you see here with all of the crazy blinking disco light redstone torches and the orange wool. You have a redstone clock, which is the generator which powers the vertical item transportation, which you see here in these 2 gold blocks, also very simple. You have the unloading station for the Pugnation item transportation system, which is here, and also here at the warehouse. And you have automatic item sorting, which is what is here in this purple wool, and also this water channel that you have here. The automatic sorting system will be the focus of this tutorial, since vertical item transport has already been covered here. And the Pugnation item transportation system has been covered in detail here and here. Check those out. They will also be linked below in the description if you haven't seen them already. Okay, so item sorter, how do you do it? First things first, let's build an 8-block long water channel that is 5 blocks high. So the water source block, let's make it time set 0. Water source block is going to be at the 5th block. I'm going to make this 8 long. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Could be more than that, could be less than that, but for this we'll just make it 8. And just wall it off so the water doesn't pour out everywhere. Source block right there. And that will not pour off the edge. Alright. Now we're going to put 2 hoppers below into here. And let's say we want to sort my items into a chest. And we'll just put the chest right here. We want our items to be sorted. Excuse me, right there. We want the items to be sorted into this chest. 2 hoppers. One is going to be going straight down. And the second one will feed into this chest. Shift click and the hopper will feed into the chest. Now for the redstone circuitry, which is actually pretty simple. Behind the bottom hopper, you're going to put 1, 2, 3 blocks, 2 redstone dust, or excuse me, 2 redstone dust like that. You're going to have a comparator here. This comparator is going to feed out of the top hopper and face away from the water channel. Redstone torch like that. And 2 blocks below this redstone torch, you're going to have a block like this. Dust on top of that. Torch like that. 2 blocks away. And immediately under the bottom hopper, you're going to have a block with a redstone torch. This redstone torch, while it's powered, will prevent this bottom hopper from feeding items into this chest. Now you need to select the item you want this sorter to pick. Let's say I wanted to only shovel gold blocks into this chest. So in this bottom hopper, I'm going to put 64 blocks of gold, or whatever item you want to be sorted. And I'm going to put 4 sticks into there. Just 4 sticks. Now into this top hopper, I'm going to put, and the order you put this in matters, I'm going to put, let's say a stack, could be less. Let's put 32 blocks in there. This will start feeding into the bottom hopper. And while that's feeding, I'm going to put 4 sticks. This should stop at 18 blocks, and it does. And there you go. That's actually the whole item sorter. Now this will only select gold blocks. If you can see, as I put one in here, this gold block is going to get sucked into that hopper. Any other kind of block is going to be totally ignored by this hopper. It's going to go right over it, and it's going to end up downstream. Alright, so how does this actually work? This redstone torch provides power to the bottom hopper. When a hopper is powered, it does not funnel items. If I took this torch away, all these items that are in this hopper would just automatically start feeding into this chest. So that's the first critical component. This comparator senses the inventory of the top hopper and provides an output signal that is proportional to the amount of items that are in here. So, the tipping point right now with it is 22 total items. It provides a signal of 1. It can only provide a signal of 1 block length. Now, as soon as I put in 19, that's the tipping point where it will power this for 2. Once it's been powered for 2, it's going to turn this torch on, turning this torch, it's going to turn this torch off, turning this torch on, turning this torch off, and allowing the bottom hopper to feed items into this chest. Now, hoppers always feed from the leftmost block. It's not random. It always feeds from the leftmost block. So your item that you're sorting has to be over here on the left. It cannot be in any of these slots on the right. This top hopper will only accept gold. Ironically, actually, it also accepts sticks. So the one thing that this is ineffective at sorting is sticks. If you put sticks into here, it would actually break this. You could put another non-stackable item in here like redstone dust and it would work just as well. I picked sticks because they're cheap. Now, one weakness of the sorting system is that it requires 64 plus 18 blocks of whatever item that you are sorting. So it's not really good at sorting something like diamond. So if you're down in the mine, you don't really want this to sort diamond because it would require 64 plus 18 diamond ore in order for the sorter to work, which is more expensive than whatever value you gain from having an automatic sorting system. Now, I was actually toying around with this earlier, and I actually found a way to make this a little bit better. If you add more sticks to this, I think the optimum is 655. It only requires 1 block up here of the item you wish to be sorting, but still that's 65 total blocks. Not very useful for sorting diamond. Because the cell is so compact, it's very easy to put 3 or more right next to each other. You could have more if you extended this water channel out. After 8 blocks, you'd have to drop it down 1 and have it continue going. Or you could use ice and do some manipulation with signs to keep it all on the same level. I'm not going to go into that, but you can imagine you could extend this out to more than 3 items. Also, you could put, say there's an item you really hate and you want it destroyed. I hate gravel, for instance. I could have this select 3 blocks that I want, and if you can imagine, I could just put a lava pit right here. It will destroy whatever items are not sorted. Also, if you wanted to just pick up miscellaneous items that you can't sort out, say, like I said over there, this thing doesn't really sort diamond or gold that well, or other rare materials, just because it would be too expensive to implement. You could just have a hopper here or whatever, collect items that aren't sorted as well. That would be very simple to do. Now, in order for this to really work well, you need to ensure that the items that are dropped out of here aren't shot too violently. What I mean by that is, if you don't have this covered at all, the items sometimes will be shot to the side and they'll land on this rail and they won't be funneled properly into the sorting system. So what I found works best is if you surround the blocks, or excuse me, if you put blocks on either side of the dropper like this, and then if you put a half slab like that, the items will still be shot out, and then put a block just like that. So now this will ensure that the items are shot into this block and then gently dropped down below, where they will be sucked into the hoppers. Alright, armed with our knowledge of the automatic sorting system covered earlier in this video, and with our knowledge of the vertical item transportation system and the Pugnation item transportation system highlighted in previous videos and linked below in the description, we can fully explain our system we have going here. Items that are arriving into the station pull into here, where they're unloaded into these hoppers and funneled into this vertical item transportation system. The unload station is just this area here, including the sensor block. That is the Pugnation item transportation system. These hoppers funnel into these droppers, which via this clock repeating signal are all being repeatedly fired and then spit out into this water stream and sorted via our sorting system. So all these droppers are pointing straight up, with the exception of this one, which spits items out sideways. Now, as our items are sorted, earlier I showed them being sorted into a chest. That's what you saw earlier. Now instead they are being sorted into another set of repeating droppers, which are vertically transporting the sorted items to the top here. They are simply spit out of the top into 3 distinct piles. Again, we could have more piles if we wanted by simply extended the sorting system out. And these hopper minecarts instantaneously pick up all of the items, and then since these rails are constantly powered, they just bounce off the walls and are sent back, and they are loaded again by the automatic unloading component of the Pugnation item transportation system. When this detects that the inventory is empty via this comparator, the cart is automatically sent back to pick up more sorted items. These quartz ore walls here are necessary because otherwise the 3 sorted items might get spit out into each other, and then these hopper minecarts will come over and they'll accidentally pick up some red and some green, or there'll be some commingling of our ores, which you don't want. So these walls are necessary to prevent that from happening. Now, a major downside of the system is that it is very loud. In order for this to be as compact as it is, I have to use this repeating redstone signal that just kind of pulses constantly. Now, what this means is that all of these droppers are constantly firing, making this horribly annoying clicking sound. So right now you can see I have the sound off, but I'm just going to turn it up a little bit, and the headphone users, please be aware. This is very loud. And you can see what I mean. Incredibly annoying. Now, there are ways to do vertical transmission without making it make this annoying noise. I gotta turn that off. Sorry, guys. Without making it make that horrifically annoying clicking sound. However, you sacrifice the compactness of this system, which I see as a major strength. So yes, you can do this silently, but yes, it has to be a little bit larger, and also it is way more resource intensive because it requires the use of comparators. This is the cheapest and the most compact way to do it. Now, one last thing I'd just like to point out is that, one, this whole thing is easily concealed underground. You can imagine that this wood is the ground level. You could have this part sticking above ground. Also, you could just truncate this a little bit and then have everything underground and have the rails run underground and then move up to an above ground rail station. That would also be very easy to do. And another thing, I've shown an example where I've applied this kind of system to mining, but it'd be very easy to apply it to, say, an automatic wheat farm. You could have your wheat and your seeds funneled into an area where they are separated into separate piles of the wheat and separate piles of the seed drops, and then picked up and transported a distance away. Also, you could use this in conjunction with some kind of mob grinder. You could have your mob drops separated by type and then sent away to be picked up at another location. You can even do it in tandem. So let's say you want your bone drops from skeletons to be separated and sent over to where your wheat farm is. Have an area where you can turn that bone into bone meal. Bone meal now can be put into droppers and set to automatically fertilize crops. So I'm imagining a system where you could have drops traveling from your mob grinder over to your automatic wheat farm, employed into droppers to automatically grow your crops, and then you could have your drops automatically harvested, sorted, and sent to another warehouse. The applications of this system are endless, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! It's all very exciting. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Leave a comment below if you have any questions or you would like to see any more additional details. I know I skimmed over quite a bit of what's going on here. If you would like to see a full tutorial where I literally build this thing from scratch, I'd be incredibly happy to do that. Just let me know and I will make that video for you guys. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you like this tutorial and you'd like to see more like it. Here's Pugnation saying I'll see you all very soon. Yes! Yes! Oh! Oh yeah! Awesome! What do you think? I think it came out great. Let's have a look inside. I just beat a man to death with my bare hands. That's pugnacious.